All right, thank you. My name is John Connerty, and I'm a WMS employee. I work for the Department of Corrections. However, I'm not speaking on their behalf. But for the agency, I work in a very high-risk fugitive unit that goes out and pursues people with warrants or other crimes that they've occurred. Any sort of concerns that may happen as a result of that, or any sort of legal services or anything that I need, I no longer have, whereas I did have when I had representation prior to getting promoted. Excuse me. So I think that having those legal protections for my family and for the well-being of everyone is critical for me, and that's the biggest reason why I support this and would like to see this move forward. Yeah, that's all.
My name is Niles McDonald. I work for the Department of Social and Health Services, a ALTA subdesignation. I'm an APS attorney and legal benefits advisor. My duties include going to the court for administrative law hearings when someone is accused and appeals the finding of abuse for a vulnerable adult. As an attorney, this is the only position I have ever worked in my life that I have not had basic protections. I have no licensing coverage, no malpractice insurance, none of that. That's all coming out of my own pocket because I have the WMS designation. I have no management duties. I do not make any decisions. I don't dictate anyone's jobs. My legal assistants answer to several heads higher than me. If I had the ability to protect myself through collective bargaining, I and my coworkers, who I am not speaking for, and I'm not here on behalf of the DSHS office, but we would have the ability to protect ourselves, to demand basic pay increases, and to demand the basic requirements and the basic expectations that every attorney has of their employer. At this time, there is a very serious risk that my coworkers and I may move to greener pastures simply because our pay does not increase, our licenses and fees are not covered as we expect from anyone. It is likely the department will hemorrhage talent and not even be able to keep the talent list around to keep some degree of institutional knowledge alive. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Schessler, did you have a question? Okay. Go ahead.
My name is Michael Poston. I'm with the Washington State Department of Corrections. I'm a community response unit supervisor, so I'm a working supervisor. The community response unit was designed by the Department of Corrections to go out and locate and apprehend the most dangerous and violent offenders on supervision. With that, again, I am WMS and I have no legal protection or services. I'm asking for this bill to move forward, therefore I could join the union and be provided those union benefits, legal services for the safety and welfare of my family as well as me, because I cannot afford the insurance that it would take to protect me against allegations of that matter. Thank you.
Thank you all. Senator Schessler, comment, question?
No question. Thank you, Madam Chair. This for any of you. Over the years, many public employees have been concerned about the rapid growth of the number of WMS positions, and they made good arguments. Would we not be just as well served if you could opt out of WMS, go back to being represented by the existing public employee unions in your institutions and doing your jobs?
I guess I'm not so sure that I could. I mean, it would be in essence, instead of the promotion that I took, I would go back to being the position that I held before. And I mean, obviously I control a vast area in the state of Washington for what I do. And I guess my answer would be no, I would want to continue with the WMS band that I'm currently working in.
I can't speak for anyone else in my department, but as far as I've seen, every attorney in my entire department is labeled as WMS. Whether or not we were to be moved into another position on the bands, if we have any degree of seniority, if we move up to taking care of each other or managing one another, I could see very quickly that that designation would pop right back on us. If the WMS bands were somehow reduced to just be those really high positions you were talking about, then perhaps, but if I have any hope of moving up in my position, I would like some degree of protection. I'm unlikely to be a secretary anytime soon.
Senator King has a question.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I'm curious, as you considered these promotions that you each took and what those promotions meant, did you not feel that the pay that the increase in pay that you would be, I assume you would be receiving, was not commensurate with your ability then to be able to afford those licenses and those things that you say are now, now you want them paid for?
Go ahead.
Senator, if I may, I'm at an entry-level position for my job. Attorneys may have the ability to supervise one another in higher positions, but I left a job with public defense to do this. I was making more as a public defender. And I don't say that lightly. I also had my licensing fees paid for. It's an expectation. I did not take a promotion to take this job. I took this job because it allowed me to be closer to my home, and it had some other convenience benefits. I also am no longer working 90 hours a week, which I think is a huge positive. But
Can't argue that.
I'm not supervising anyone. I took no promotion. I did not even understand that WMS stopped me from having collective bargaining rights as an entry-level attorney in the position I took.
Thank you.
And just to follow up, Niles, I believe as a public defender, you do have collective bargaining representation, correct?
I did. I did when I was with the public defenders. I know the AGO's office has recently gained those rights as well. There may even be other attorneys who have collective bargaining rights in DSHS. I don't know our organizational structure to that level, but at my position, I do not.
Thank you. Thank you all. I believe I don't see any questions, so thank you.